Oh, the good man said, turns out God is dead. The worshiping science instead, faith in books they haven't read. They're angry all the time, angry at some hole inside. Welcome to the spiritual dark age. Oh, don't lose your grip, don't get contemplative about the space we live between first breath and then the grave. No need to be saved, just some rules on how to behave. Welcome to the spiritual dark age. Oh, forget about love, it's not a hand from above. It's not some dream and there's a rub, just chemicals that flood your brain. They're writing poetry about serotonin and dopamine. Welcome to the spiritual dark age. I'm not alone and you're not alone in this. There's no map and we're all just set adrift. There's children making pictures in the sky, arguing about who's wrong and who's right. Oh, the good man said, turns out God is dead. We're on our own, this time to work out what is yours and mine. No reward to being kind, no quick fix for the fear you find. Oh, welcome to the spiritual dark age. Pass me those sedatives, pass on me sentimental empathy and talking gentle. Blinkers on and take the medal. The day the TV died, only tie keeping the family alive. Oh, welcome to the spiritual dark age. I'm not alone and you're not alone in this. There's no map and we're all just set adrift. There's children making pictures in the sky, arguing about who's wrong and who's right. There's no map and we're all just set adrift. There's children making pictures in the sky, arguing about who's wrong and who's right.
Wonderful. Great to have you on BBC Radio Kent. Welcome, Ralph. Good to have you here with us on Drive tonight for the music conversation. Ralph, first of all, straight away, Pellermounter is your surname.
Yeah,
that is a fantastic name. It comes from Cornwall, doesn't it?
Yeah, so, well, we think so. There's a little village. Well, not really in a village. I think it's basically just one broken down house and that sort of thing. But in Cornwall, so we think it's probably comes from somewhere around there. I've not met many other Pellymounters though.
No, you are the first for me
good,
as well,
good.
So it's fabulous. And Grant McNeil is alongside you, both, of course, from To Kill a King. Hi, Grant. Good to have you with us on Drive Time tonight.
Hey, nice to meet you. Thanks for having us.
I guess in terms of To Kill a King, I mean, looking at some of the stuff that you've done, and particularly the videos, I mean, it's lovely. It's great. It's a real feeling. I mean, you've done lots with Bastille. You have a real connection. You seem to both just love and adore voices too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of lots of people with quite unique voices, like Johnny Cash or Tom Waits. I think it's those people who can really just very unique and are very hard to replicate, you know, and you instantly know it's them. And I think with a lot of them, they can get away with, which is something that we try and do through the course of the 3 albums, is try with different styles and things, but you can always tell they're that person because the vocals are so distinctive, you know.
And Grant, the name of the group, To Kill a King.
Sure.
I mean, you can appreciate, for me being Dominic King, I was slightly worried about bringing you in. I thought it was like a bit of a threat in terms of the name, but hearing what I'm hearing.
See how it goes with the interview.
Hey, mate, the feeling's mutual. But, you know, it's a great title. And did that come from Tim Roth's film, or is it more than that? Are we going back to Shakespeare?
Yeah, it's from a line in Hamlet, but we have been saying that it's our mission to beat that.
Yeah, top
to
it in
Kill
the
a King.
Google searches.
I think we have. I think we've just about topped it now, but it is quite an old movie now, I suppose.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think they made me have to watch that in college and write some sort of dissertation on it. But yeah, no, you're right. I did on the Google search. You're doing well at the moment. You're celebrating this new album release, The Spiritual Dark Age. We heard the title track there. That's out on January the 12th. Just after 6, you would have heard a snippet from the actual album, which we played here on the show in advance of you guys coming. Tell us about the album.
Well, it's been a long time in the making, really. So because we've been sort of touring and writing non-stop for quite a long time to do, because we did the first 2 albums, but then a bunch of EPs and all the videos and stuff that you were always saying. We're quite like a DIY sort of band. And this one even more so. So this one's been funded. We've been doing a thing called Patreon, which I don't think if you know about it, but it's basically a bit like similar to a Kickstarter sort of thing, but it's somewhere between that and say a subscription service like Netflix or something like that. So our fans sign up to it, and then we give them 4 bits of music a month. And they only pay like a couple of dollars. It's done in dollars for some reason.
But isn't this brilliant now that we've really sort of, everything's opened up in music. You can do different ideas, different challenges, Grant, and you can get a sense of people can feel like they belong and they're part of the band.
Yeah.
It's almost a culture thing that's happening.
Yeah, it's opened up a dialogue between us and our fans, which, something that a few years ago wouldn't have existed. And it also means that we can road test stuff like songs, and we've released like demos for tracks that have been fully produced through that as well. So,
well, I think like performers, comedians, they've been doing it for years, haven't they? They go out with the show, they see what people like, they see what the fans. It seems like a great approach, and almost in a sense, somehow, music and musicians have thought, I can't do that because I want to play that for the very first time when it's absolutely honed. And sometimes you need to do a bit of work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's probably the big difference between people's first and second albums, because quite often you spend so long doing exactly that for the first album. And then the second album, I mean, like with us, we sort of wrote it on the road whilst unable to really play them live. And so that's why we took a bit of time out for this third album and really just... worked hard.
And as a group together, as To Kill a King, we've got Ben Jackson and Josh Taffel and James Ball as well, who are part of the group. Has To Kill a King been the same lineup since the beginning, or has there been someone who was naughty and you threw him out?
We're in. No one's quite been thrown out, but I guess it's we are an independent band, and it's quite tough in some ways. So various people have left along the years. So we're actually in a sort of unique point now where, so for me and Ben, this is our sort of artistic third album, and then for Grant and Taffel, it's their tricky second one.
Sure is.
And James Ball, it's his debut. So
wow,
it's all things to all people, you know.
So for James, you're just seeing how it's going, and, but that's all. It's interesting where people come in and their influences, because I guess it's quite nice as well with bands, and we all know throughout history bands change their lineup, and in a way it must bring in a bit of fresh ideas when you bring in a new member and they kind of have an idea of what they want to say.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think especially with James just joining, because he's got a very strong voice and he comes from quite a choral background, so I think that's shone through quite a lot on the new record. There's quite a lot of big backing vocal moments which come from him.
I really urge, and we'll tell you how to do it, people to check out some of these videos as well, particularly when you're with this giant ensemble or you bring in other people like Bastille. It's just a lovely thing. It's almost like you've all gone for a barbecue or something and just said, shall we all just have a little jam? Was that in your garden or something?
No, well, actually, it was the end of a series that we did called Ralph's Balcony, and the idea with that is we invited different artists to come and play some songs on my balcony, but we finished in our old bass player's Josh's garden because we couldn't fit everyone quite on my balcony.
It's got a balcony.
I used to.
Oh, you don't have the balcony
Yeah,
anymore?
I'm afraid it wasn't. It was one of those London high
Yeah,
rise
okay.
of things. It wasn't quite as glamorous as you might be thinking.
I was completely thinking, amazing balcony. Going back to the Shakespearean roots we were talking there with To Kill a King. Great having you on the show. Thank you, guys. We're going to hear Ralph Pelamounta and Grant McNeil from To Kill a King tonight with us in the studio. Really great having you here with us, guys. And I know you're touring a lot. Next year's a huge one, isn't it? The big UK tour.
Yeah, that's it's going to be great. We haven't been on the road properly in quite a while, so it's going to be wonderful. We're doing Islington Assembly Hall in London, so that should be good.
Yeah, lovely grand venue. It's like a old town hall style thing.
Yeah, and people really love to sort of just immerse themselves into, particularly if they follow you as an artist, they kind of follow your story as you're going along. Like you explained to us about just connecting with you more than anything else, and then you bring the album out as well. Are there favourites that fans are starting to tell you that they really love?
Well, actually, I mean, we've got a small but very lovely and loyal fan base. So they've already started doing like bits of artwork and stuff like that, which is just, they're the most wonderful things to see when you can see that it's influenced someone like that, and it's just great.
There was one that we were given in March for a song that hasn't even been released yet.
Yeah.
Just seen the name, it's just like, that's amazing.
But that shows as well that, when we always talk about with musicians storytelling, that shows that you're really connecting, and that as songwriters that must fill you with great joy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when you see it go from its sort of conception and then to the point where you're hearing people sing it at concerts back at you, it's just a wonderful feeling.
Well, the first date then for the new year, you mentioned Saturday 27th of January in London at Islington Assembly Hall. If people want to find out more about To Kill a King, the group, the band, you as individuals, and of course the brilliant beards, I'm so pleased that people are continuing to have beards and grow them to a great length, by the way. Fantastic. It's going for a while there, Ralph.
Yeah, it's been going for a while.
See, I tried to do mine recently where I went even bigger, and
really?
I just couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe over Christmas.
Yeah, and Grant, you and I are kind of fairly similar.
Yeah, somewhere around the
yeah,
same
we're doing the same
length,
thing. Great having you with us, guys. Thank you so much for being with us here on BBC Radio Kent. But Facebook, websites, all the usual ways of getting in touch. Just literally put in To Kill a King. You'll either see a movie from the early 90s here, this London five-piece band. This is No More Love Songs on BBC Radio Kent.
So I'm heading off to find myself a new face. I'm sick of staring at these thick red lines. Oh, don't trust the second for the first is a dirty lie. The kind who'll kick out all your good friends when you're out of love, out of heart, out of whiskey. Oh, out of courage, out of kicks, out of cares. But all your past kisses, they sting like near misses. I'm tempted to drop my guard just so you can blam one on, but I'm stubborn as the first team you've been led to some clear pool. Oh, everyone's moving on and I'm still stuck on you. But I ain't gonna write no more love songs, 'cause they will stay after you're long gone. It's a dangerous game to play. This crippled old matador is still seeing red, going toe to toe every time he sees a bull, and every single blow's a certainty he's clinging to, and every single fall reminds him of a youthful tune. And I ain't gonna write no more love songs, 'cause they will stay after you're long gone. It's a dangerous game to play. Guess we said it all, so disconnect the phone. The first night on my own I'm not thinking of you. I guess we said it all, so disconnect the phone. The first night on my own, I'm not thinking of you, but I ain't gonna write no more love songs, 'cause they will stay after you're long gone. And I ain't gonna write no more